YouTube, what is good? This is Jeff Abel, always Abel, back on here for another video, just trying to provide a little bit of value for those who are interested, and this one is for the fellas. Now, I was having a conversation, and I've had conversations in the past with women about this topic, because I do work with women. I am around women quite often. And I have been in this situation when I was younger, and I've experienced this, so I thought maybe I would just give a little quick tip on it. And I want to talk about ways to physically, not harmfully, but physically escalate with a girl when you're on a date and when you're out with her. And maybe you're just getting to know this girl and you're attracted to her. Because I think a lot of times when guys are on dates with girls, they take a girl out, and maybe they take her to dinner or whatever the case may be, but it's almost kind of like a friend setting, because they don't make it known and they don't make it physically known that they're attracted and they want to take things to the next level. And I've had girls tell me, like, oh, like, I went out with this guy or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, well, did he kiss you at the end? Did he give you the good night kiss, whatever? And she's like, no. And I'm like, damn, like, I feel like there are ways. And I understand why this can happen. I think that just when you're on a date, it can be nerve-wracking too, but you have to just allow yourself to be comfortable and sort of playful to show a girl signs that, you are physically and, sexually attracted to her. So I wanted to just kind of go over a quick couple of things that, like, I've done and I know that have worked for me. That maybe you could try out, and maybe these aren't the end-all be-all ways to do this, but this is just my experience, because I have been there and I have been on dates in the past where I've taken a girl out, and yes, I haven't kissed her, or because not that I didn't want to, but I was just like too nervous, and the whole date went by with like no physical, playful touching or whatever, any playful chemistry. So a few ways that you can maybe do this. One way would be that I've used is, like, if I'm sitting with a girl or talking with a girl, and this sounds kind of corny, but it does work. Maybe most girls get their nails done. So like I'll just be like, oh, I like your nails, they're pretty. And then as she looks down, before she even really looks down, I'm saying, oh, I like your nails, and I'll reach down and I'll grab her hand and I'll pull it up. So now I'm like softly kind of like touching her hand, and I'm looking at her nails, and I'm kind of just like, oh, these are pretty. Like, oh, I like your nails, these are pretty. So now I'm just I initiated that physical touch by grabbing her hand or whatever. Or maybe it's like, or maybe I'll be like, oh man, like maybe if it's cold out and you're like, oh man, my hands are cold, feel. And I'll grab like her hand, or I'll grab like her arm, and I'll just kind of like, just like ways to, I know this might sound weird, but it's, you kind of have to like cross that barrier of like the physical touch to show that, like, you could make her feel comfortable, and there's definitely a way to do this. You can't just be like, you can't really be a creep about it, and that's where everybody as an individual is different. So you kind of have to put your own finesse on it, your own swag on it. But those are ways. So like, oh, you got your nails on. I like your nail color. Like, let me see. And you grab her hand, whatever. Or like, oh, like, did you get high? Like, I work in the hair industry, so I could kind of use this one. I know, like, oh, like, I like your hair. Like, you got new hair, whatever. And I'll kind of just maybe like touch her hair, like, oh, I like this, your hair's pretty, or whatever. Or if they smell good, that's another one. If a girl smells real good, like, and I'll just be like, damn, I'm like, oh, you smell great. What is that? And I'll kind of lean in, maybe like towards like her neck area or her hair, and I'll just kind of like, even though I already smell it, I'll just be like, oh, what is that? It smells great. Like, just little subtle things to show that you are interested physically and that you want to take things to the next level eventually. Another good one is if you're walking with a girl, or if you're crossing the street. Maybe let's say you're standing at the crosswalk, whatever, it's time to cross the street, and it's time to cross, and just to show kind of like security, or I don't know if I want to use the word dominance, but like just to show like that you're kind of just, that she's under your wing. All right, come on, and you just don't even think about it. Just grab her hand, hold her hand. So you're crossing the street. All right, come on, let's go. Or another one is like, if you open the door for a girl, or maybe you're walking in somewhere and you're letting her go first, you could like you put your hand like on like the lower back, like right above her butt kind of thing, like lower back, and not like up here. I know these again. If you're uneducated on this stuff, it does kind of sound kind of silly, and but it does work, and it is true. There are certain things that you could do. So like another one, like maybe like softly kind of if you open the door and you're like, all right, go ahead, like you put your hand in the right spot, lower back, just little things. Try to if you're out with a girl, you need to because here we go. Chances are, if a girl is out on a date with you, she already probably is attracted to you physically in some way. I don't really know too many girls that are going to go out with a guy that like they're not like physically attracted to, at least a little bit, enough to where they would at least entertain them or kiss them or whatever. So you already kind of have to assume that like she's out with you, so she probably thinks you're attractive anyway. So you can't really be afraid to do things like this, and it does show confidence. It does show that you're not scared, because I've been there before, and it does kind of it is awkward. Like if you're out on a date, this and that, and it almost if you take a girl out that you're attracted to, and you're not playful, you don't kind of like be playful and touchy with her in a way that's not creepy or unwanted. If you don't really do that and learn how to do it, it's almost kind of like a you're out on like a business deal or business transaction. It's not she doesn't feel like it's a date, and the attraction, I feel like kind of she loses attraction. So just small little things, small little touches, like, oh, the nail thing, oh, these are pretty, grab her hand, whatever, oh, my hands are cold, feel, look, oh, I'm free, whatever, like, oh, you smell great, lean in, whatever, like just kind of you have to find ways to escalate physically, to show your attraction and your intention with her even more. So anyway, don't be a creep about it, and this might take a little bit of practice. So again, this is just what's worked for me and kind of little small things that I do in interactions with girls. So there you have it. A couple of quick tips. Jeff Abel, always able. Always able. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.